Well, in the process of setting up a tripod for recording of this video, my phone fell into a drawer that is always open because it's broken. That's my phone now. And display, the top part of display is now broken. Fuck. It works, but it's kinda cracked. And one of the cracks goes right through the camera. I'll just roll the intro. So the ARM-powered Macs have been praised for being outstanding. The performance, battery life, and overall a really smooth and successful transition between architectures has been extremely well received. Even more as newer models with newer designs come out. For example, 2021 Macbook Pros that basically backtrack all the problems that previous models had. But unfortunately, these laptops are amazing. So amazing that nobody is selling them. Like I actually couldn't find anything for normal price. Maybe because I was only looking at the Airs, which are the newest models, but still. So I ended up going for this 2020 13-inch Intel Macbook Pro, which is the last Intel Mac. Until a couple of months ago, you could actually still buy this thing, but it has been discontinued in favor of the 13-inch M1. So is it as bad as everybody seems to say that it sucks to use Intel? Well, let's talk about using the computer. No benchmarks yet, we're gonna get to that in a bit. But first, using the computer. Overall, it's still really good. Meaning that super solid build quality, good battery life, really nice display, keyboard, trackpad, and speakers are all here. Sure, the battery life is not as amazing as the new ones, but this thing could still take me through a school day and a bit more. I get about 7 to 8 hours without forcing it a lot, and this is with 90% battery health. The port situation is still quite meh, but at least it's Thunderbolt 3, so you can plug in a display, graphics card, and even hard drive all at once. And I'm not expecting anybody to plug in a graphics card to game on a MacBook, but you can. And I will plug it into display once I get a dongle. It's gonna be way after, because I need display. Using macOS is probably the best option for a laptop. It's smooth, stable, and has a lot of features missing from Windows. And yeah, macOS has its own lack of features, most notably window snapping, but that's probably due to Microsoft's patent. And simply more easy to use at a simple level and as a power user. And customization of the experience via apps is way more polished than in Windows. Not as good as some Linux desktops like KDE, GNOME, i3 and the like, but still really good. One of my favorite features from macOS is the management of apps. It's all just in one place. There's no need to look for the correct app data folder or if the app has a good uninstaller. You just drag the app into the bin and that's it. Or better, app cleaner. And having a singular folder that directly links to Launchpad is pretty good. And also trackpad gestures are amazing. But that's just macOS, that's available on other Macs. Let's see the good things about using an Intel Mac. Number 1, Windows. Wait, Windows? Yes. There's still a lot of programs that are missing from macOS, most notably games. Bootcamp is actually more easy to use than I thought. I thought it's gonna be like, okay, you plug in 1 or 2 flash drives and go through normal Windows installation, but no. There's more along the way of you select the size, wait for a bit, and boom, you're in the Windows desktop. Linux is a bit more complicated since you need the drivers for the T2 chip. But if you go to wiki.t2linux.org, you will find specifically made ISOs with the drivers preloaded. Number 2, expandability. To this day, you can still not plug in a graphics card to an ARM Mac. Probably never until there's some Apple branded GPU that will probably never happen. While NVIDIA is a thing that you can tolerate in Windows, on macOS you're stuck with AMD graphics cards. But still, some older Macs you can actually upgrade the SSD and even the RAM, which good luck doing that on any of the even newer Macs that are Intel, and none of the Apple Silicon ones. And 3, the bigger one, the price. I get this 2020 13-inch for €600. Your local founder's price may vary, but if you have a budget of a normal person who can't afford to spend $1,000 on a laptop, it's a really good price. Most new laptops with the same price are maybe gonna have better specs, but worse build quality and specs are not everything. This thing on macOS feels faster than Windows on my PC. And that thing has a Ryzen 5 and a GTX 1660. About €500 can find you a pair of 2012 MacBook Pros or Airs, a 2015 MacBook Pro, known to be the best one in 6 years, and the newer one, the butterfly keyboard models, if you are inclined to deal with the crappy keyboard. I have tried a 2019 15-inch before they switched to Magic Keyboard, and I hate it. So now it's time for the benchmarks. I think they don't mean anything in the real world, just scores to know how it compares to other computers. It's nice, but it will not mean a lot to your specific workflow. Here, Cinebench R23, which scored a respectable this compared to this on my PC. I actually have planned to do some sort of specialized workflow-specific benchmarks that are going to be available to everyone. So it's not that fast. It doesn't have the sexier display or more ports or good thermals. Seriously, this thing gets hot. So why do I like this thing so much? Well, because of the price. This is something that I want to get into more detail in our video, but hear me out. You don't need a new MacBook. You don't need to spend $1,000 or $2,000 for a new laptop. You're a hardcore professional that needs all the performance on this thing. No, you're probably a student, Twitter user, maybe you do some actual heavy work on this, right? Because this thing can handle multiple streams of 1080p footage from my Google Pixel, which everybody says is one of the best cameras, without dropping a frame. Even with the extreme limitations of 8 GB of RAM in a peasant quad-core i5, it still works perfectly fine. So why do you need to spend $1,000 on a MacBook? It's not you're gaming on it anyways. To be honest, I don't really know. Maybe you're afraid of buying stuff from eBay or refurbished, but why? I mean, yeah, sometimes it can be sketchy, but you're always going to be protected by eBay. And it's not like you're missing out on a lot of battery. This thing lasts me more than a school day with 90% battery health. And it's not like you're going to miss a lot of features like live text, even though I have it on here. So yeah, for now, just don't buy an Apple Silicon Mac. They're good, just not yet. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.